Hello, English 2 Lions. For this assignment, I'm going to show you several things, so follow along. You're going to go to readylibrary.com. You're going to click on Cultural Issues Research here, which we did in class today. You'll notice that the Macavia group is linked right here, so click here. Okay. So here you will notice two things. You have your Cultural Issues Research assignment sheet, and then you have your Graphic Issues copy. Okay, so this is the assignment sheet here. This video helper will be linked here. Okay, these are the steps that you're going through today for the assignment. This is the document that you are going to be keeping both your works cited, your citations on, and then your information to answer these questions. Okay, so you're going to plug in your topic or issue. So my issue was poverty, my first country was India, and my second country was Uganda. Okay, so I chose these two countries, and one of the ways that you can do that is you can go over here to your Macavia group and click on Opposing Viewpoints and Context. From here you can scroll down and you can see Browse All Topics. Here you can look at different topics and see what countries are dealing with those particular topics. So my topic is poverty. So you can come here and then you can see what countries are involved or have issues about poverty. So you can see poverty here. You can come down here to news and you'll be able to see some different news articles about different countries and poverty. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can always go to advanced search and you can type in your issue, which in my case is poverty 2018. And then country. Oh, country. Countries. Well, oh, that's because I didn't change these. Keyword. Okay, so in both InfoTrack Newsstand and then also Opposing Viewpoints and InfoTrack Newsstand, you can do those types of advanced searches, and you may just kind of have to search around until you figure that. But you're going to have to do some searching to see. The other thing that you can do after you kind of maybe figure out a couple of countries that are dealing with your issue is you can come over here to Culturegrams and you can click on the Explore. And if you think you know what what countries you want to do. So for instance, mine was Uganda, so I can click on Africa and then I can come down here and try and find Uganda. And then I can get information about that country, basic information from this particular database. Okay, so this will help me. So there's history here, population, attitudes. Okay, so there's going to be some various types of information that you can use here. Okay. Alright, so that database will give you basic information about your country. Should you use any of this information, okay, so let's say history, okay, general attitude. No, there's a pin right there. Okay, so if I wanted to use this article, I can grab my citation right here. Okay, and this is what I would put in my works cited page if I were going to use any of this information. Okay, So once you kind of have your countries and your topics, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type Uganda and, whoops, and poverty. Depending on what your topic is, will depend on what types of sources and what your question is, right? So you're going to look at your graphic organizer and you're going to determine of these different questions, what types of sources is best going to give me. So background information about the issue in your two countries. For that, I can probably find something in probably in reference, right? I can probably find something about background of my country from a reference article, okay? And for that one, I would probably even just want to put Uganda in my search, okay? Because then I'm going to be able to find basic information about my country in a reference article that way, okay? But when I'm looking at questions like who are the people affected by this issue? How does this issue affect the country's economy? Those types of things I'm probably going to need to go to magazines and news sources to find those types of things. And in Mac and VIA, I have linked here an article that tells you about different types of sources and then what databases contain those different types of sources, okay? So basic factual information, you're going to hit up things like GVRL and student resource and context. And then for news and magazines, okay, you're going to use Newsstand. You can also do student resources and context, but those are listed here, and that document is right here as well, okay? So the other thing that you're going to need down the road is images, which you can get images from. The other thing, you can use Britannica School to find basic information about your country, okay? In all of these databases, anytime that you put in your search term and you find an article that you want to use, you just click on Cite right here, and you're going to use the MLA, and this is what you're going to take over to your Works Cited and graphic organizer, and that's what you're going to paste in here. And when you do that, you're going to do Control-Shift-V, and it's going to paste that citation for you and properly format it. This is the end of my URL here, okay? So if it has a HTTP, I can hit that spacebar and it'll make that a live link, okay? The other thing I need to look at is over here, Britannica School is italicized. So because when I pasted it over, it lost all that formatting, I just want to go to Britannica School and I want to italicize that to properly format that citation there, okay? So for any and all of these different databases, okay, so let's say I wanted to use this article right here, I would just come up to the citation tools, I would find that MLA citation, and then I would copy and paste this, Control-C, into my Works Cited up here. And if I do Control-Shift-V, then it will properly format it for me. See the difference? And then I would come over here to Gale Encyclopedia, World History, Government. That's the title, and italicize it. Okay. All right. You're going to need images too, and you can get images from a lot of these databases, but we want to make sure that we're using images that we have permission to use. And any of the databases in your Mac and VIA that have images, such as ImageQuest, Britannica School, InfoTrack Newsstand, Student Resources and Context, all of these will have images. But what I can do that you will notice is these images we have permission to use, right? So let's say I wanted to use this image for poverty, okay? I would click on Cite and I would grab this citation right here. And again, if I do Control-C and go over here to my Works Cited page, Control-Shift-V, then it properly formats that citation for me for the most part, okay? And I would want to make sure that I italicize Ugandan Mother and Child, Britannica Image Quest, because that's what's italicized over here, before I leave that citation. And then I can grab that image and save it to my Chromebook, okay? So I can download that image right here, okay? These databases all have images, not all of them, but most of them have images that you can use and grab the citation for this assignment, okay? All right. As always, if you have questions, you can come see me in the library or email me, lambertin@friscoisd.org, and I'll be happy to help you. Just make sure that you are grabbing those MLA citations and putting them on your graphic organizer. The other thing I want to remind you is you need to cite your sources here so that your teachers know where that information came from. So you're going to use the first word and the year of that source there in order to cite it right there in parentheses, okay? You don't have to bold it like I did, but I just did that so you could see. If y'all have questions, come see me.